thrones up high. There's a man with a talent, a spark in his eye. He's got a wicked creation that's one of a kind. With his 3D printer, he'll blow your mind. Frightful Forge, his name speaks for itself. Printing monsters and ghouls straight out of hell. From skeletons to witches, his designs are supreme. In the realm of horror, he reigns supreme. Frightful Forge, he's the master of fright. With his 3D prints, he'll keep you up all night. Spooky creatures crawling out of his machine. Frightful Forge, the Halloween scene's new king. TV's new king. Twitch.tv/FrightfulForge.
Hey.
Hey, don't start yet.
Oh.
For everybody watching on YouTube, there's an ad break running on Twitch right now, so you get to wait with us because it's like 2 minutes before you can say anything. I may have
say something, just nothing important.
Yeah, you say something, just nothing important. I may have gotten caught up talking to everybody and forgot to click the ad button while the music was rolling, and then it cut in like during your intro. I'm like, oh no.
Hey, don't say anything. Does that mean we're good on Twitch? We're just not good on YouTube?
No, we're good on YouTube. We're just not good on Twitch.
Oh. I was a bad DM. I had my area set up. It was kind of a rush today, so I got everything set up. And then when I did the opening video, that first shot of me putting my dice on the table, I went, oh gosh, Where's my dice?
Well, that's not a live shot of you putting the dice on the table every time.
I mean, most of the times it is.
Oh, okay.
Just like every time someone sings at SNL, it's their real voice. Okay.
All right, we have 45 seconds left.
Oh wow, that's a long one.
It's a 3-minute break, which is why I try and do it during the song.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hi YouTube.
Hi,
you can
YouTube.
find any of our episodes also saved on YouTube if you go back and check. So
Yep, there should be a playlist called Laughing Corpses. I need to add the last couple ones in, but yes, it is there.
we did a whole bunch of singular one shots for each character so that you can learn who each of these characters are, and a little bit of their background leading up into their transfer to the Radiant Citadel. So you should feel free to go and watch those.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, I am GM Dan, and I am here running a D&D 5e live play podcast through Journey to the Radiant Citadel. It will eventually be a Spelljammer game. That's why it's in the document. Spelljammer has been one of my favorite settings of D&D since its debut in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. So I'm super stoked, but even more stoked about our amazing group of talented individuals I have playing with me tonight. We are going to go ahead and start with Naomi, and we will do a horseshoe down and around to Andres, with Shank being last. So if you could say who you are and who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Naomi, and I
Oh.
am playing Fruit. But
You can go ahead and say it, but you're
Oh.
not in the camera.
oh no, I'm Naomi. I'm playing Prudence, the Tiefling Bard. Bye.
Hi, I am Tyler. I am Karuk, and I am a bugbear monk.
That's you, Mark.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm playing Nurit, the human chef.
I'm Travis. I'm playing Keck, the Thrycreen fighter.
Hey everyone, I'm Justin. I'm playing Silas, the Warforged.
My name is Andres, and I'm playing I'm playing Arandi, the Harangon cleric.
Hey everybody, my name's Jim. I'm playing Sibo Bottle Pop, the Goblin Alchemist.
I'm not saying we need to see you, Mark, but your camera is off.
Oh, man.
We get to see that cool animation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not as cool as... Wait, did that work? No, I don't think that's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hold on.
you.
no, that worked.
No, that
It
worked.
Yeah, it was
working.
the wrong camera. It was going to screw everything up.
Oh no,
There, that's the right camera. Sorry.
that camera
was-
set to self-destruct in 3 seconds.
It was
Yeah.
funny. Justin got to see what not being the center square was for this much time.
As soon as I turned the camera on, I got him. Sorry.
You captured him back in the center square. Okay. So as a reminder, you guys had been in the night market, which is a living, breathing market full of adventure and mostly stalls of people selling food, as it turned out. There were there had been a dispute between two families that owned stalls in the night market. They both offered you grand rewards if you could help them figure out which of the two families was at fault. And it turns out it wasn't either of those two families. You found out it was one of the brothers of the Spicy Brothers stall. After figuring that out and receiving the rewards, you came back home to the Radiant Citadel, a city wrapped around a gigantic diamond floating in the middle of a maelstrom, a storm brewing in space that prevents, as far as you can tell, anything from coming to the Radiant Citadel through any means except for these gem-like taxis that disperse from the Radiant Citadel into the Maelstrom and arrive at their destination. One of 13 different cultures, continents, worlds. You have spent the last 2 weeks. We talked a little bit about what you had spent the last 2 weeks doing, going out for dinner or getting to know each other a little bit better, working on some of your hobbies, and the like. And so there was a little bit of downtime where you guys got to learn a little bit more about each other, which is good and refreshing because before this, you didn't know each other at all. I am looking for. Where are you? 1 second. I meant to have it pulled up and didn't, and that is my bad. Where are you? There you are. And then I have a whole bunch of notes. That's me. I love notes.
F Sharp's
Una.
my favorite.
Okay, Una. After you guys had arrived, Una had arrived shortly after in kind of that same flickering white and black and static, and then boop into existence. She popped into existence. For the last 2 weeks, she has been conversing with the mostly invisible windlings in some kind of Fey language. She has been learning more about her magic specifically. It seems that she's unlocked the ability to access some more Fey magic within herself. And she has been traveling around with some of you, but mostly with Karuk as he was hunting for anything similar to the giant gemstone similar that was from back home. Over the last 2 weeks, she shared a little bit about her past, being summoned, exiled, resummoned, and how that has given her a unique perspective on what living is. She has an appreciation for things beyond their expiration date. You guys also would have learned that she is shy, uncouth, and awkward, and she's an awkward or weird little fae who's trying to learn how to interact with others. And I will get with her on what that means for her, because I forgot to. Okay, so starting off, you all find yourselves in an area of warm grasslands, walking into a village in a countryside called God's Breath. Shylock, ahead of you, is dragging a gigantic burlap sack. It looks heavy, but when other people offer to help, he says he's got it and continues to drag it behind him. Long before arriving on God's Breath through the same aforementioned crystal kind of teleportation chambers, you heard the music. After landing almost the second the gemstone walls opened, you heard a thrumming, beat-filled music with a lot of voices that are kind of singing and shouting back and forth. Upon heading this direction, Shylock had explained that we were going to God's Breath to experience the Awakening Festival. For the people of God Breath, there is a story, and that story is the story of their awakening. From the moment that the first people of this nation state opened their eyes here in this beautiful land, there has been a story told to each other through oral tradition, but specifically through music. And that story has new stanzas and new things, new elements added to it when things of note happen to the peoples here. The Awakening Festival is a near month-long festival where they recite the Song of Awakening. And that is what you hear when you exit the gem. You hear a lot of people laughing and singing other songs, but nothing covers up that original deep chant that is the Song of Awakening. He tells you, Shylock tells you, part of his job here is to help you guys get acclimated to the different cultures available. And this is one of his favorites, which is why he also needed to come here for other reasons. And so he's saying this between heavy, slotted breath as he's pulling this bag that is probably 9 or 10 times his size. There is still the sloshing sounds of his feet, of his leg feet, as he's moving, pulling this bag behind him. But somehow, this homunculus has an immense amount of strength to be able to pull this bag behind him. Do any of you have any questions as you're walking?
Why doesn't he just let us pick up the bag for him?
It was part of the agreement. Part of the trade for him bringing this was that he was the one that had to do it.
Mm.
So is he not allowed to ride a cart?
I mean, if I had a cart, maybe.
So can't we count as a cart?
No.
Are you gonna carry
No.
him?
They were.
Yeah, why not?
They're part
I
of
have
the...
once.
Huh?
I have carried him once. It wouldn't be out of character for me to carry him again.
I mean, you walk 2 miles an hour. It's going to take us another week to get there at this rate.
I just walk silently up and pick him up and put him in one of my secondary arms, cradling him like a baby.
As you pick him up, he has a death grip, a gecko death grip on the bag, and the bag probably weighs 85 pounds. As you kind of pull him up, and he goes, "No, ah!" But you lift him and the bag up off the ground. He says, "Fine. You're right. It'll be faster, but you gotta let me down, like right outside town, so they don't see."
Yeah, we got to drop them off around the corner.
As you guys make your way towards, the music gets only louder, but you're able to appreciate it that much more. About a week ago, during your respite, you were all given a small pendant. It's like a gemstone hanging on a loop of yarn. That gemstone glows as other people are speaking, and you can see it's almost like a miniature version of the auroral gemstone in the middle of the Radiant Citadel. And you've caught that over the last week, when not in the presence of the gigantic diamond crystal, it translates people speaking to you. Especially it's especially clear for the people of the cultures here, as if it is part of something in their past. So it can translate Goblin, Elven, whatever, to a form of what your primary language is, but it's not as good. It's almost like Google Translate in 2005.
Or Google Translate in 2024.
Whereas for the languages of the 13, it's clear, and it's almost like your brain is watching their lips, and their lips are making the sounds of the language you recognize. That being said, as you get closer to town, the words of the song start to make sense. And they're in the middle of one of a stanza about a family that was on the brink of starvation and was able to find it within themselves to go on a great journey to find special seeds that would grow in this soil and how it helped bring their farm around. And that's kind of what that story is, what you guys hear as you're making your way up to this large town. The peoples of God's Breath are a hearty folk. They are dark. Their skin is dark brown in different shades, from a light brown all the way to near black. Many of them are dressed in loose clothing, and you can see it is warm here already. But almost all of them, maybe at least for the Awakening Festival, all of their clothing is bright colors. Bright yellows, bright blues, bright purples, bright greens. Many of them have jewelry, but a lot of the jewelry that you're seeing, you can tell that it's been very, very well taken care of. You know, sometimes you might see jewelry that is a little bit damaged or has what's that word? Patina. But all of this jewelry is very well taken care of and very clean, like it's being worn out for a special event. As you're walking up closely, and as Shylock is being carried in like two small arms like a papoose, he says, "Welcome, friends, to Promise. This is the largest of God's Breath's towns." And you can see why as you come around the corner and you can see that the buildings all squat, and many of them have almost like a clay walls, but many of them are round. So it's almost like bubbles all lined up in a row and connected in this town, with the tops chopped off the bubble and tents on top. Maybe to allow for different heat, or you're not sure, but there's like giant tents covering the tops of all of these buildings.
How close did you say we were?
Good question. I'm gonna say you're about maybe 50 feet, 100 feet out.
Okay.
You haven't like turned a corner to see anything yet, but that's what you're seeing as you're walking up to Promise.
I have a random question. Do we get weather out here?
I said month. It's a multi-day celebration.
Yeah, no, but I mean like it's a land surrounded by a crystal floating in space. Do they have weather patterns?
I apologize. So, in the Radiant Citadel, there are occasionally weather patterns, but almost always they are requested.
Okay, that makes sense.
You are currently through one of the teleportation gems on another planet, in another culture, called God's Breath, next to a town called Promise.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The weather here, you can see that it's relatively clear. It looks like clouds far way off might be coming in, but they are just that high level of clouds that cover up the sky. It's currently late afternoon, and the weather is still very, very warm. Okay. So you're getting to the point where he's starting to squirm, Keck?
Okay, I'll go ahead and set him down.
And he says, "Thank you." And he bows deeply, making sure to hold on his fez, and then continues walking off.
I'll follow him.
And he walks around the corner dragging this bag, and you guys get close enough to see the town proper. In the town of Promise, the annual Awakening Festival is underway, and the streets are alive with vibrant music. As the history of the land is recounted through song, musicians play instruments of many kinds. Their performances meld together as passerbys join in during choruses, uniting the entire community in a single collective celebration. You hear, as you're closer now, that the locals are singing a collection of songs recounting local histories. Characters, you see a lot of stalls that are pop-up stalls in front of and around these round structures, and they sell local crafts, musical instruments, street foods. There's a couple of these that have hundreds of these small straw dolls that are mostly wearing colorful shirts and dresses, hanging from different areas or piled up on tables, and they seem to be a popular keepsake that many children are running around with, either collecting them from different vendors, or some people you can see are having themselves made in miniature. And there's a bunch of kids running around. There's a bunch of people walking around and just having a good time. You see, as you guys are kind of paused taking this all in, Shylock has continued dragging his bag across the courtyard. People are staring in confusion, and he pulls it up to a vendor that's kind of nearby, and is dragging it, and they see him, and they're smiling and kind of laughing, but not laughing at him, as he pulls it under the table, under a piece of fabric that folds over, and then he disappears. You can see them talking to him. You assume they're talking to him on the other side of the table. He's too short to see, but they have turned their attention to something on that side of the table.
Real quick. So, like, can I help, like, walking with him, like, help him, like, lift up the thing so that he can get underneath, and as he passes under,
Yeah, sure.
I tap him on the shoulder and give him the Trickster's Blessing, so for the next hour he has advantage on this stealth checks.
Okay. You can see when he does that, his skin, like you go to tap him, and the skin where you tapped him shimmers across his skin, in like a magical chameleon way. And he rolls one chameleon eye up to look at you, and somehow winks.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing, because that kind of eye should not be able to wink, as he continues pulling himself under the table. You can see that this table, like the others, is selling some kind of fruit. It is about the size of a large apple and has spines on it. But looking around, there are people that are cutting into them and eating the insides of whatever the fruit is. And then another small pile of these straw dolls that are about 3 inches tall.
I will buy one of the fruits.
Yeah, I was gonna buy a fruit and a couple dolls.
Couple dolls?
Why not?
Okay.
They're different colors. You gotta get them all.
Collect everyone.
The fruit is 2 copper. The dolls are each 5 copper.
When I see Prudence buy 2 of them, I say if you buy more, you get more souls.
The guy behind the counter that turns up to you and laughs and says, "Hey, that's not a real thing. I want to make sure you know that's not a real thing."
Yeah. disappointment obvious on
And
my
he has,
face.
he has a
and
huge,
pay for it.
huge grin on his face as he laughs.
I still
Yeah,
like
I'll eat some of that fruit too.
Okay. As you take it, the spines are very sharp on your hands, both of you. But you can see that it has it feels like a pineapple. Like it's as firm as a pineapple. But it's about the size of a large apple.
Okay. I'll pull out one of my knives and cut it in half and eat it.
As you cut it in half, the smell is something you have never smelled before. It's almost like fermented watermelon mixed with like almost a pine scent. And as you bite into it, it's crisp like an apple. And I say more like a honeydew, like a honeydew. And you bite into it, and it's extremely juicy, even though it's very crisp. And already recipes are covering your mind.
What does it taste like? Fermented watermelon and pine?
Fermented honeydew. And
Okay.
it doesn't smell like pine, but it is definitely a fermented fruit. And you can feel that as you eat it, that it's definitely a fermented fruit.
I look over at you eating fruit, shake my head, and then start eating one of my sugar candy crystals.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. You, Keck, let me think. No, actually, all of you, except for New, you can see people kind of staring at you, talking about you probably, but not in a negative way, just because as you look around, even the night market had a handful of other races present, other species present. This is mostly, it seems, just the people of God's breath. And it is not long before people start making their way over to you and talking to you, asking how you found yourself here, if there's anything you're looking for, like trying to be helpful, but also nosy.
I'm guessing the people of God's breath are humans?
They're humans.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, it looks like they all have like a darker skin tones, and a wide, happy, like bright, happy smiles. And there's bright colors everywhere. Now that you're inside the town proper, you see. I see you, Mark. Now that you're inside the town proper, you see that while on the outside, the walls of these buildings are like a dark brown, almost the same color as the ground around them. From the inside, the walls have been painted bright colors, of all over the rainbow colors. Yes, Mark.
When Keck starts getting mobbed, I will make my way over there and say, actually, could you tell us where we could have a straw version of him made?
They say, well, anybody could try, but I think that down there, I think Lady Grace would definitely be able to help you out. Not just him. And they look. The person who answered looks over at both Silas and at Ovida, who are some of the more
Come on, Keck.
off-looking.
Let's go make you a voodoo doll.
Can I say I've been putting the little spikes from my apple thing onto one of the dolls so it has horns like me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and
I'll be
give
back
me...
in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me
He's like, I want no part of this.
Dexterity check. It looks just like you.
I rolled a 1.
It looks just like you.
Thanks.
As you turn to show one of the children that, hey, I've got a doll that looks like me, they scream and run away.
Hmm.
Cool. Maybe
I
someone
mean,
can
so
fix it.
so it does look just like you.
Aw.
Can I
What
get the gecko to eat him?
to eat who?
New.
New?
We just need a new doll now.
As you guys are kind of standing here near where Charlotte disappeared, you see a child about 6 or 7 stand up and dust himself off from the other side, and he seems tired, but he's kind of laughing, and the proprietor of that stall pats the kid on the head and says, "Never again." And the kid laughs, and then Shylock nods, pockets something given to him by the person at the stall, and then slides back under the table and arrives on your guys' side.
Listen, I know that we said this was not going to be necessarily a family show, but I'm not sure I condone whatever just happened on the other side of that bale of hay.
Okay. You didn't help carry the bag. Alright, so what about the rest of you? What else are you guys doing? I know what Keck and New are doing. I know kind of what Prue is working on.
I'd like to do an insight check to see if anyone's throwing up any like thieves can't like the way they like how people will stand and they'll like flash like a couple fingers or they'll have like things like, or I guess it could be investigation or perception, but like yeah, I'm looking for
So
people like signaling that they're the right kind of people.
So go ahead and roll perception or investigation because you're kind of doing both at this point.
I think the right kind of people is a matter of perspective in that.
I just don't know why it has to be so negative. It sounds like they can do it, not that they can't.
That's a 9.
You think as you're looking around and you're kind of observing conversations to see if maybe something's being shared in that way, you're pretty sure that if there are people that would be doing that during this festival in this area at this time of day, probably isn't going to net you what you're looking for.
Oh, it's during the day. Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people here, but there's a lot of families here. And so you, after looking around, you figure you're probably not in the right circumstances.
Got it.
Probably just a bunch of pickpockets.
Is there an herbalist?
So as you're kind of walking around looking, most of what you're seeing here are people celebrating, and the where the night market has a little bit of everything in stalls, like what is that called, Naomi? Where the thing we used to go to on like Thursdays at night, where it had a bunch of stalls.
Farmers market?
Farmers market.
The night market?
So the night market was, thanks. The night market was like a farmers market, right? With a bunch of stalls and people selling different things. A bunch of different things, almost like a swap meet. This is more people celebrating, and so maybe the stalls you get at a fair. So there probably is an herbalist here in Promise, but they don't have a stall outside. You'd have to go and look for that. Karuk.
I realized that I have an herbalist kit, so Sibo, if you need anything that I have, you can have it. Because at this moment, I don't know what's in it, but I'm not using
All
it.
right.
Well, it's probably
I'll
a bunch
take
of
it.
like dried herbs and stuff, which means that if you have, they would probably have the plants, which means with my druid craft, you have everything you need.
Yeah.
Go team.
Even to
Oh,
start
all right.
growing
Well,
it.
Sibo, I guess Sibo's just going to retire then.
I think you meant you'd have everything you need to grow more.
No, it's all right. I will take my leave.
I do not like the
No,
adventuring
Oh,
Honor, no,
lifestyle
don't go. You
This
could
is as good a
benefit so
place
much
as
from
any
your
to be
years and years
shunned
of
by the
wisdom.
local populace.
You have so much wisdom to give. You've been around for so long.
Wow.
Is this a good or a bad time to say that my wisdom modifier is 0?
Even better.
He's a very elderly goblin at 4 years old.
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to go looking for an herbalist?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a persuasion if you're going to be asking, or a investigation if you're kind of just doing your own thing.
Good God, why does the character sheet have to be so insanely hard to read? You said investigation or persuasion?
How to read. Yeah, persuasion.
I'm going to do investigation because my persuasion is abysmal.
Okay.
How about a 23 with a nat 3 or a nat 20 on the die?
Okay, that might do it. By kind of paying attention to where people are walking and the signs on doors and different businesses, you find a small round hut, a little bit further off,
to follow my nose.
that smells a certain way, and that's how you knew that it was an herbalist. It has a skunky smell.
Compost. I know the smell anywhere.
There's like a skunky smell, where most of the other round buildings.
Or I appreciate the jab
Yeah.
there, but that's not the kind of store I'm looking for right now.
You're looking for an herbalist. I'm just telling you what you find.
Yeah, it's just magnificent, wondrous herbs.
Yeah.
Do magic with.
After a
I don't
couple
know.
samples, you'll think everything's good.
We live in a world with giant crystals in space. I think that's an herb that's sold here.
That just means I've been hallucinating.
All of a sudden, I need to go to the herbalist too.
The round buildings that are mostly clay walled. This one is more like wood slats, and you can see that there's air gaps in between, but there's greenery growing up between the slats. So it gives the look of almost like a mushroom that has greenery growing around the sides. And the smells coming off of it are very natural smells. There is definitely an odor of compost there. But for the most part, you're picking up a lot of other smells. Smells you've been a lot more familiar with, especially in the last 2 weeks. And so you make your way there, and you can see that it is where the herbalist that you've been working with recently is mostly dry. Like the things they have are stored and dried. This one is almost a living apothecary, where everything is the plants on the walls that are still alive, whether they're growing inside or outside on the walls. You walk in, and there is a small booth and a table set up with crushing and mortar and pestle and some knives. There is a small handwritten note sitting on the table that says, "Away for the festival. Please take what you need, but not more than you need." And there's a small box that is open at the top that has a couple coppers, but they're not coinage you recognize. So they're probably the coins of God's breath.
Okay. I'll head back to find everybody else.
You're not even gonna.
You said the currency that has been left
it's
here
just
is not a
coppers.
currency I recognize.
So it's a currency you don't recognize, right? But you've gotten used to, over the last bit of time that you've been at the Radiant Citadel, almost all the coins are the same size. They just have different markings. So a copper is a copper is a copper, a silver is a silver is a silver. But the coins from God's breath aren't. Everybody doesn't use a Radiant stamp, a Radiant Citadel stamp on their coins. That's all.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to look around for herbs that can be brewed or distilled into painkillers.
Okay. Do me a favor and give me a nature check. if you would.
With a 19 on the die, how about a 22?
That is a heck of a good roll. You are going through different plants and you're kind of testing them, and while some definitely have familiar shapes, these are a little bit different. Like maybe they don't have the same kind of coloring, or the flower buds are a little bit different, because you are talking about a completely different culture on a completely different area. But you are able to kind of track down what you're looking for and grab some of the snips and take what you're looking at from what you need for painkillers.
All right. And let's see. I will then drop a gold into the box
Okay.
and take my things and walk out.
You know for a fact you overpaid by probably like an exponential overpay.
Mhm.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Okay, and you make your way back. The music, by the way, regardless of where you guys are going, is ever present. Somebody in these areas is picking up these songs, and all over you're hearing stories about how God's breath has become God's breath, but specifically how this area has. Did you have something, Randy?
Yeah. Just by listening to the people talking, is there like a central stage where people are gathering and like there's like really big performances, or is this just like something just kind of spread out that the entire town engages in
You can tell that
around?
it's both of those questions are a yes. So there is a central communal space where the loudest of the speeches and songs are coming from, but
Cool.
people are playing and adding to that music all over town. And
Cool. I'm
it's
gonna head
not
towards.
it's not difficult to hear it either, especially with your radar issues. It's coming from a direction, and you start making your way that way.
They're more like antenna towers because like a radar dish would imply on the
Yeah,
mouse.
fair. It's not a mouse. Yeah. um, Silas.
Mainly just if I don't see, I'm kind of just staying like vigilant, trying to see if, especially if a bunch of people are watching me, I'm kind of just watching everyone else and seeing like how they're reacting, how if anyone seems like I'm like scaring them or anything. I want to like, I'm just trying to do my best to fit in, even though I'm a big weird robot next to a giant bugbear. So, but I'm just watching. I'm very, very vigilant.
You note that as time passes, even just a handful of minutes, people that had focused on you guys as the new thing, they seem to accept your presence. So it's not like you're a giant thumb anymore. They're seeing you, but they're not focused on you. And you kind of enjoy the moment. This is a very different energy than the night market was. The night market was very much a consumable community, right? It was a place where commerce was happening. So that was on everyone's mind, and people are bustling to and fro, but for the most part, other than hanging out and eating, they're mostly moving back and forth. There was music, but it was usually contained to one stall, right? 1 second.
Quick question. I'll have him answer it in a second, but like, have we figured out what the purpose of this is? Like, did they tell us what? I mean, other than it's a cool festival.
It's a festival about the creation of this town or
The continent,
yeah.
land.
This land, yeah. The people that first opened their eyes here, from that point, they've been building a story, and this song is a continuation of all of the big things that have happened that have joined that story.
So it's a bunch of people singing "This Land Is Your Land."
But
Okay.
with
Yeah.
specific stories. For you,
Yeah.
this is something I hadn't considered it, but this is something you've never seen before, and it kind of makes the inner Prue the young crew that loved music and loved telling stories when she was back on the farm, it makes that part of you giddy.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I got lost in a crowd of kids who were trying to help me figure out how to make the doll that I ruined better again.
Okay.
After they stop crying and screaming.
No, they're feeling bad for me because I'm like, I'm broken.
And I'm standing behind her making scary faces.
No, I'm escorting you
Yeah,
to
and I'll
get
Oh, that's
yourself
right.
rid in
I'll
straw form.
cut back to that in a second.
I
Yeah.
have to make sure they have forearms.
Silas, did you have anything specific that you wanted to do, or are you kind of just soaking it in?
Kind of just soaking it in, like if there's any notable. What I'm looking for, and curious, because if I'm hearing like the songs and stories and understanding it, was there ever any stories or like history of a conflict or war or anything like that that comes up? I mean, I imagine they're celebrating, so maybe not. But like, is there any like, oh, we overcame strife, or there was like a war in the past, anything like that?
There have been a lot of conflicts, but almost all of them seem a lot smaller than battle. You're not picking up now. This is a multi-day song, but what you guys have heard since here from the different pockets and the different stories, none of them have been hyper-violent. None of them have included war or even giant battles. You might have one family that you might have like farm on farm problems, conflicts.
Family feuds.
What is it? The McCoy Hatfields and McCoys, right?
Mhm.
You might have something like that, but nothing like the Civil War or a big battle like that.
No existential attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm good. Yeah, I'm chilling.
Okay. Trubuk.
I was thinking, you said it was coming from, like, the loudest part of the song was coming from a specific direction, right? So
Yep.
there's like a center to this.
Yeah.
Can I go there and like meditate on whatever part of the song they're at and try to see what I can like feel from it? You know, if there's any sort of divine magnitude to the chant.
Absolutely, you can. As I was telling Ovida, it's pretty easy to find. You follow the louder part of the music, and there are people walking that direction already, so you kind of join that stream of focus. And as both of you are getting closer, but as you're getting closer to the music itself, you can feel it thrumming in time with your body. This vibration, this undulation of emotion kind of washes over you, and it almost makes you more present. So as you find a seat, which is not hard to do, you are a large individual and people make a spot. You sit down and you start absorbing the information, and you can hear it in the cadence. There has been a lot of thought and purpose put into this music, and there's a lot of emotion there. And it's something that you're picking up on as well, Prue, being a child of story and a child of music, even from far off. But you can feel that too. Where
Did you get the messages I sent you?
on
Discord.
no.
Okay, cool.
But thank you for
But
telling
yes,
me.
I get you.
And I didn't realize it was going to do that. Hold on. Boop. Okay.
Yeah. Also, sorry, I messed up your screen.
I'm trying to get it back. Go back. There. Okay. Now I can go back to the party. I don't need people reading notes. Okay, you're back. Yeah, so, Karuk, you sit and you meditate. Go ahead and give me an insight check with advantage.
Let me see. This one. 16 and 19.
Okay.
So 19.
You start to, as you're meditating, you start to picture these stories as they're playing out. You obviously don't know what the folks look like, so a lot of it's extrapolation, but
Mhm.
you're starting to picture these stories in your head and feel the emotions of the people as they're singing, picking up on those vibes. And it's deepening for you. That's the best way for me to put it. It's um, you're you're getting lost in it, kind of absorbing it.
Okay.
Keck and New, you make your way to
Come
a
away.
fairly large tent. Um, it is a tent that is off of a kind of bright turquoise blue building. The tent itself is leather or some kind of heavy fabric that comes far over the overhang of the building itself. You can see there's a woman um, out uh, out front, and she's sitting in a chair, and there's a couple younger men that are teenage boys that are doing the selling of the products. Mostly they're dolls, clothing, there's some jewelry for sale. No food, which is one of the first places you've seen that isn't selling fruit or some kind of food. And you can see that she's almost lounging in a deep backed chair uh, in the back, near the back of the tent, heavy shade. And it is a broad shouldered woman wearing a multicolored dress that complements her dark skin. She smiles up at you from beneath a stylish hat. And she says, I heard we had newcomers. I see you stick out a lot.
I was hoping that we could get him a straw version of himself so that he feels more,
She
not out of place.
she laughs and she says, "Well, sweetheart, I don't know if there's a way that he can not feel out of place, but we can sure try. What's your name?" And she reaches out with a large but feminine hand and says, "My name is Lady Dre." She's looking at you, Keck.
Oh, he'll awkwardly reach two of his two secondary hands out and grasp her hand and kind of awkwardly shake it in the human fashion.
She
And then
laughs.
in her head, she'll hear, "I am Keck."
"Well, I'll be." And she looks at you and says, "Okay, I can see where we're working with. Can you give me a spin?" And
I'll awkwardly shuffle in a circle.
she grabs a handful of straw and some flattened wood and some small tools and some string, and she says, "You just wait right there." And as you're standing there, she is working bits of leather and bits of straw. You can see that the dolls on this table are pretty much the same kinds of dolls you're seeing everywhere else. They are vaguely humanoid shaped. Most of them don't have any identifying marks. They're just wearing colorful clothing. But most of the straw men look like straw men. Occasionally, you see one that does have some identifying marks or does have facial features or whatever, but they are obviously not in the pile with all of the standard. And as she is crafting this, she's humming to herself, and you can hear that the song she's humming is matching the lilt and the tone of the song that's playing through the air. And she's working on these small, finer details. She looks up at you every once in a while with a smile and then focuses back on her work. Arandi, you were making your way to the kind of community area. As mentioned before, Karuk is sitting on one of the stumps that's out there with a whole bunch of other people. Many people are playing instruments or singing. Usually there's only 2, maybe 3 people that are singing. They're standing up and belting out the story. And then
Mhm.
once their part of the story is done, like on the last note of their story, someone else stands up with the next note. So there's very seldom a break in the song. And it almost makes your hair stand up on end.
Mhm.
Because of all of the sound and all of the kind of raw emotion that's just being poured out in this song. Did you have anything specific you were looking for?
Yeah, I'm gonna steal from somebody.
I should have known that. So
I'm not going for like coins or anything. What I'm going for is like I'm guessing there's a lot of. You said that the people are like brightly dressed and stuff, so I'm guessing there's like a lot of like scarves and like things tied on, like loose hanging, like things that are just really easy to just kind of snatch off.
sure.
I'm just doing some practice where I like just steal things that if I get caught, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you dropped this, you know. Like no one's gonna go like crazy because I have like your shitty scarf. Like they're gonna go crazy if I have your coin purse.
That is one way to look at it.
Just doing a little, you know,
Jeez.
going around here, see what's going on. So sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Sleight of hand.
22.
22.
You can get that expertise,
as
baby.
you're moving through, as you're kind of moving through and bumping up against people and moving through people to get a better seat,
Mhm.
you grab a belt. It's a fabric belt
Mhm.
from around someone's waist, and with a slight tug, it slides off their waist. They don't even seem to notice. So you have essentially a scarf, but it's a little bit heavier, and it's in oranges and yellows, almost like tie-dyed across the fabric.
Mhm. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna walk around, just stealing little bits and pieces off of people, and making myself blend in a bit more.
Okay. Do me a favor and give me 3 rolls.
3.
3.
Got it.
Okay. Mark and Keck, as you guys are standing there, Sibo, you exit your area, you exit the herbalist, you're walking up, and you can see New and Keck standing outside of a fairly large tent, anticipating or waiting for something.
I'll walk up to them as I'm securing the herbs that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Sibo.
Jotting
Would
down
you-
some notes as I come up.
Sibo, would you like a grass or straw person of yourself as well? My treat.
I suppose. For what purpose?
I'm fairly sure to capture your soul when you die.
You hear Lady Dre chuckle as she's.
I slap my thigh and start laughing at you. It's the same thing they tried to tell me as a child.
Lady Dre, do you need him to spin around as well?
Not until I'm done with this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm spinning around laughing
And who?
at New.
No, I'm saying Lady Dre is sitting in a chair back behind. She doesn't see Sibo at all.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's down here. Don't worry.
I got those rolls for you.
Okay.
17, 18, and 15.
Okay. Yeah. You make your way through, grabbing little bits of clothing here or there. You're not entirely sure how, but as you were walking past a group of really ecstatic, like musicians that are playing as they're walking, you have a pair of pants.
Nice.
Lady
You
Dre,
literally stole someone's pants right off their ass.
It looks like he still had pants on, so you're not sure why he had a second pair of pants, but
That's
That
like
must
those
have been-
tie-on ones.
yeah. So Lady Dre stands up and presents you with a miniature version of Keck. And as it is part of her expertise, it does look like a Thri-kreen. It
Your
is
little straw mouth fingers.
It is mostly straw. It has leather and wood bits for mouthful pieces and your carapace. But it's definitely you. I mean, it looks like you. It's not in color, but you can tell that it was definitely you. And she presents it to you and says she'll give you the total after she's done with your other one. And looks down at Sibo and laughs and says, "Oh, okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't even need that much straw." And she winks at
Scale up the
Sibo.
size somewhat. I like the detail.
It's about this time, Prue, that you walk up with a gaggle of children behind you.
I kind of think I
Well,
should
you've
start off.
certainly been busy.
Do they all serve you now?
Or do they belong to you?
No.
She's being taught to. She's being interrupted by a
Okay.
14-year-old who can't do anything for himself.
I'm gonna
Oh.
reverently take the doll, and I'll look over at New. Thank you. This means something to me. And then I'll put it in my bag.
I
It's gonna go up on the dirt wall.
half expected you to go.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting also, actually.
We only eat each other as a last resort.
Give me one second.
I need to see what else I can get my hands on. I'm just gonna start pushing the envelope of what I can steal off of these people.
I'm pretty sure they don't have any envelopes.
They might. Someone's got to have one. That's what I'm gonna ask for. Is I'm gonna specifically try to steal an envelope. of somebody.
Of
Find the
what?
postal carrier.
An
An
envelope.
envelope.
So, real quick, I'll circle back to you. Prue comes walking up with a gaggle of kids behind her that are laughing and giggling.
They go hand out the crappily made dolls.
So as Prue walks up, the children are laughing and they hand Keck, Sibo, and New a small version of themselves that, I mean, if you squint, it definitely looks like you. It's more in, especially for you, New, because you're just a normal human. It's more in the purple and white kind of apron-like clothing they've made for you. But the Sibo looks like you, Sibo. It's even been painted green. It's still wet, but it's been painted green. It has your kind of clothing.
I mean, I don't notice that any of the paint is coming off because my fingers are green.
Yeah.
Perfectly matte.
It's even modeled like me. Has flaws. I like it.
The little girl that hands it to you laughs and runs off. After the kids deposit those 3 small dolls, they tuck the rest into your pockets, Prue, and disappear back in the crowd.
Above table.
Yeah.
Did you say everyone here was culturally diverse?
So, okay. So the first module that took place in Samsung Co.
Yeah.
Was essentially like Korea or Taiwan for that cultural
Okay.
area, because
Okay.
that's what this book breaks down, right?
Right.
It's cultures other than Western European cultures, which is
Correct.
awesome. This one is more like mid Africa, and that's kind of the cultural vibe. With the colors and food types and the dancing and the music.
Can you check your G chat at some point?
I have 15 different things I'm checking.
Doing great.
We need to figure something out for better answers. Oh. Yeah, that thought had crossed my mind.
I mean, you could just play it on your phone on loop.
So, are you ready for another question, Daniel?
No. You will be momentarily.
I appreciate you answering me, Daniel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do I make it loop? That's my next question. That's freaking solid. I'll just keep playing. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Oh.
No.
I can hear it, but that's only because I'm in like the next room over.
Yeah. Okay. I'll figure that out because that's awesome. I wish I had a bot in Discord. Even that would work. I should have, Mark. I hadn't considered it. That's a valid point. Mark
No, you're fine.
wrote up a song that we could have playing in the background, and so I'll figure out during break. Brain.
We were talking
Shank
about
had a
the
question.
diversity of this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no. Most of it is the people of God's breath. And while they have, most of the people look to be from God's breath. Maybe not from.
The same area.
The same area.
Is there anybody looking at us
not
strangely for the variance in our species?
So when you first arrived, yes, and they questioned where you guys were from and didn't get very much response. And while they still were curious, it didn't seem like they were frightened or freaking out or anything. Like they get people from the Radiant Citadel. It appears, especially in this, which is their largest town.
Right.
But probably not a lot. And while you guys are looking around at whatever day this is of the Awakening Festival, you don't see anyone else from any other species or groupings or whatever.
To be fair, they haven't seen Keck eat yet, so the night's still young.
The night's still young, yeah.
I'm pretty sure this probably should have been asked when we went to a different planet, but was there a reason? Did we just want to sightsee?
So
Should we call a tourist like guide about this?
So at the beginning, Shylock had explained that his kind of job, what he'd been tasked with, was getting you guys acclimated to some of the different cultures of the 13. And this is one of God's Breath's biggest holidays, which is a celebration of their history and culture, and so it was near the top of his list.
Okay. Would we recognize some of these shop fronts as things we would have seen in the night market or at the Radiant Citadel because they move back and forth at all? Like just maybe someone.
Give me a perception check.
I am not very perceptive right now. That would be a 5.
Okay. As you are looking around, you see a couple storefronts actually, but none of them look like they would be something that you recognize from one of the other places.
Okay.
Did anybody else have any questions?
Shank, did you ask your other question?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Thank you for circling back around. But yes, we got it.
Okay, good.
Sorry, 1 second. Nope, not that one. That one. And yes, I know that nobody can be seen.
In the dawn of time, the earth did sigh from the breath of gods. The mountains
This had always been the problem with Discord for me. That's why I never tried to share anything over Discord in that way.
Okay.
Oh, like music.
Yeah.
You can't change.
Yeah, I think you have to
its
have a
volume.
Discord bot or a separate channel.
Yeah, there's a bot that you have to use.
Yep.
Okay. I'll try some other things. Nope, I need this. Where are you? I need you to minimize. And I need you to minimize. And I need your up, which is good. But it just occurred to me that I also have wrong page. I am batting a freaking 1,000. That's for sure. Nope. That one. Did you guys see this?
Yes.
This is Lady Dre, the one who is making the 2 figures right now.
And is it Delta, Romeo, Alpha, Yo-Yo, or...
Delta, Romeo, Echo.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Good doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, that means she's an apothecary, right? Apothecary Dre.
Apothecary Dre. She finishes Sibo's pretty quickly, and you can see that it has the same eyebrows and hairline and facial hair.
Does it have a little bomb woven out of straw in the hand?
No, but only because she doesn't know that you deal in bombs.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll keep it that way.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Okay.
How much do I owe her?
You owe her 53 copper.
Oh, I pay her 53 copper.
Yeah.
Actually, I just pay her. That would be 5 silvers, 3 copper, right?
Yeah.
And it's 10 silver to a gold?
Yeah.
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 I'll just pay her a gold.
My brain is tired because I'm trying to...
Gold is basically double what it's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, a pair of gold.
I'm trying to enunciate clearly. And it's... Oh, wow. Okay.
Take your time, bro.
She laughs and says, "Oh, well, thank you." And jokingly bites on it before chuckling and tucking it in the pocket.
I say enjoy the food. Do you recommend any food?
Well, that place there, Luke's, that's really good. Most of their produce is pretty fresh. It came in from the farm this morning. They have very good, and then she lists off a handful of recipes I can't think of right now that are obviously some of her favorites.
Okay. I'll go check that out next.
And she smiles and says, "Please enjoy the Awakening Festival."
I'm gonna trot along with New.
Okay.
Keck, you coming along too?
Awakening
follow.
Festival?
Yes. So, the Awakening Festival is a multi-day festival here on God's Breath, where most people are singing this multi-day long song that has the history of their culture, essentially, from when they first opened their eyes here, up until now. So anything of story worth
Yeah.
gets added into the song over time. And then once a year, they sing this multi-day song together. And so that's the music that you guys have been hearing this entire time.
All right, and it's just singing and shopping.
What do you mean? There's a
Oh,
festival?
the festival. It's singing and shopping. Was there more to it?
It's mostly people getting together and sharing in this moment, sharing in the story of their awakening and of this culture, and they're eating and they're selling these small dolls. But for the most part, yeah, it's them coming together and celebrating their history and their culture in this way.
I'm guessing
So
this is
very
your fault,
exciting.
Daniel. You took her to see Wicked, and she now expects choreography dance from everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
No,
thought she
I'm
was
just making
asking
sure
when they're
it's
going to burn
just
someone into Wicker
singing
Man.
and not
Yeah.
anything else. Like, is there any other like unexpected things gonna happen to?
I mean, maybe it is a D&D module.
I'm just trying to talk. Okay.
What's up, Silas?
Since it's an awakening festival and it's stories since they've awoken, what do they mean when they say they've awoken?
So
Is it when they were born?
it's
I'm trying to
it's
find out.
kind of as you guys are kind of
Trying to get woke.
listening to the story and kind of getting the pieces put together, it's not specific. The beginning isn't as specific when it started, and so it's essentially when they came into being, but it's kind of a gray area. They don't go into specifics for that. There's a lot of specifics in the other stories that are being shared, but that part, it may be that you guys are on day 2 of 4 days and you just missed the beginning, maybe. But that's there when they refer to it in song now. It's behind. It's kind of a gray area, and I have to use the restroom. So why don't we call a break and come back about 8:05?
Sounds
Perfect.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm gonna put it on break. Do you have a button?
Yeah, I don't know that. It didn't seem to work. Hold on one second.
Maybe I'm on the wrong screen.
Yeah, whatever screen that's playing on. There you go. What time did we say, Shake? You're still on mute.
8:05.
Okay, good. I timed that almost perfect. Almost.
Almost.
Mostly.
Do we know how bots work in Discord?
I don't.
I've experimented with them only very briefly and
Yeah, I
not
can-
even enough to be productive.
I can help you with that in between. It's not something you want to do right now.
Yeah. I figured. Yeah, because I don't even see anything as an option. Okay. Is Justin on his way?
That was sign language for yes.
Oh. I thought he was in the room and you were pointing at the computer.
Oh no. That was yes.
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of make your way around, absorbing the sounds, and eventually make your way towards that central area where people, kind of larger groups, have seemed to kind of group up to sing this song in continuation. There's a lot of vocals that go with the instruments, and only like I was saying, only one or two, three people are singing chorus lines or story lines, where other people are adding their voices to the rich field of notes. Mark,
Yes, sir.
as you are digging into a plate of some kind of meat hash that is pretty flavorful,
Keck would also have it, as would Sibo.
right? Whether or not they're eating it is their choice.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll eat it. You said there's meat
Give it
in
a
it?
whack.
Yeah, it's like meat and some kind of grain and a very kind of spicy sweet sauce. Mark, you notice a group of celebrants acting strangely. As part of the crowd begins another verse of the awakening song. 8 people wearing the garb of farm folk, so not as bright as the other people around you guys, wander into their midst. Rather than singing, they stare blankly. Then they surge forward into the celebrants, raising rusty farming implements.
I will immediately turn Sibo's head so that he sees exactly what I'm looking at, and I tell Keck those people are about to attack.
And roll initiative.
Before I do, no, never mind. I don't do that because
I rolled a 10.
let's see.
So go ahead and roll, and then I'll ask.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That it's easier for me than yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Let it go. Hang on just a second. Oh, here it is. Nine for me.
Just after everybody rolls, I'll ask. because I'm trying to put your cards in order for stacking initiative. So, was there anybody above 20? No. Was there
No.
anybody between 15 and 20?
No.
Ron?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a 16.
Was there anybody between 10 and 15?
I got a 14.
Sorry to interject. With my initiative bonus, I'm at 22.
Too late, man. Too late. You're going last now.
Sorry.
Okay. Mark, you said 14?
14.
Did anybody get higher than 14? Okay. Who else?
I got a 10.
10?
I got a 9.
Okay. Crow and
3.
I also got a 3.
Tyler, what's your dexterity score?
14.
Okay. And Naomi?
12.
Okay. Okay.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Do the tools look sharp?
Yes.
Okay.
They
It's
are
not. I'm not doing a play.
they are pockmarked with kind of work marks where they're chipped and maybe have spots of rust, but for the most part they look like they are well maintained farming implements. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so Ketch and Sibo, those were the two you interacted with, right, Mark?
Yes.
Keck and Sibo, do me a favor and and Mark, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw.
This D20 is the worst.
Where the hell do I look for those on this character sheet?
It should be
It's usually
like right above your skill bonuses.
to the right of the attributes. Usually.
Oh, saving throws. There we go. I see. Which one did you say again?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay. How about a 9? Crap.
I got a 3.
Okay.
16.
All right, Mark, you get to act in the surprise round. The others were not quick enough.
Okay.
My head is being held by Mark.
Probably wrenched in an unnatural direction. Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was actually my
It's a
turn.
surprise. It's a surprise round. You get an action. Or a movement. Not both.
Okay. Questions, and this is all mechanics stuff. So, first question is, because they're not acting in the surprise round, can they not use their reaction?
They can use their reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Second question is, I guess, even though he's next to me, that would be my full turn. All right. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach into my chef's pouch with my ladle, and I'm going to pull out a serving of the stew, and then I'm going to throw it at Keck, even though he's right next to me.
Okay.
And I'll be like, open your mouths. And as a reaction, Keck, you can basically eat it out of the air.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. So you feel your carapace harden, and you have resistance to all piercing attacks.
Nice.
For, I have to check how long that's for. I think it's 1 minute, which would be like 10 rounds. Duration. I'm gonna have to look it up real quick. I'm almost positive it's 10 rounds. I just need to double check it.
Yeah, no, but
It's a minute. And
Yeah, I just didn't write it on the thing, so I
Oh.
gotta double check it on the main sheet.
So we'll move to Justin while you're looking that up. Justin, you're at the top of the initiative order, so it's you.
So from where I'm at, you said there was like half a dozen people?
There are roughly 8. There's a lot of moving and screaming people right now as people are trying to run from these farmers or from the people that are dressed like farmers. So it's kind of chaotic, but you think you saw 8.
Okay, so whichever, if any, is within line of sight that seems to be closest to like harming someone, I want to break out my arm crossbow and try to I can't really deflect, so at this point I'm just going to try to like just shoot at them in like a non-lethal area, try to like get their attention to get their aggression towards me.
So it's probably important to note, and there will be a reason why in just in a little bit, but non-lethal is absolutely an option, and you just have to state you're doing non-lethal damage, and it means that you're swinging for an area that isn't a kill shot, or that you are using a different part of your weapon that isn't necessarily the pointy edge of the rapier.
Okay, so yeah, so far I want to go for like a non-lethal shot at whoever seems that they're going to be harming someone.
Okay.
To pull their aggro.
So go ahead and roll.
Okay. I got a 16 on the dice plus 5, so 21.
That hits.
All right.
Go ahead and roll
Plus
damage.
3.
Oh, that's right. Crow, it was a shrimp cake, not stew. I forgot I swapped it out.
A little less messy.
We're not supposed to be seeing miniatures on a map or something.
No,
right?
this is all theater.
It's all theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I rolled 9 for damage.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
He's the one.
Okay. There. As you okay, you fire, and is it a crossbow bolt? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The crossbow bolt strikes. You fire it, aiming for a lethal part, and it takes one of the people in the farming clothing in the shoulder, and they spin around and crack their skull on the wall behind them, collapsing into a heap on the ground. You can see, you hear them kind of sigh heavily as they hit the ground, so you don't think they're dead, but they're crumpled on the ground.
Okay. And then just to be sure, I have 2 weapon fighting now at level 2. So could I use my other arm crossbow and go for another one? Trying to save some money.
I believe so. So I think the difference is I'll have to relook that up. 2-hand
Yeah, I
fighting.
think
It is 2 light weapons. I don't necessarily have, as far as I'm aware, I don't know that I actually have If 2-weapon fighting lets me use my advantage or my dice for advantage on attack 2 offhand, but I just don't know. As long as they're 2 light crossbows, are you okay with that being an offhand attack?
That is what I am checking, because sometimes it is very specific.
It has to be a light melee weapon.
Was it light melee?
Yes.
Copy that. Okay, thank you. In that case, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, if I have movement,
You have movement.
I know it's not super relevant, but I just want to make sure I can move in where I'm within attack range and I can visibly see a couple of them. Just trying to.
Like you're moving into melee, or you want to remain in at range?
I want to remain at range,
Okay.
but yeah.
Cool. Not a problem. Olvida. It's you. And you are correct.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Bane
Okay.
on the 3 closest guys.
Remind me what Bane does, please.
Bane is like the opposite of
Bless.
Bless, so they get a first thing you give me a charisma saving throw. My spell save is a 13.
Okay.
Whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, target must subtract a d4.
Okay, so 2 of them failed their save.
Sick.
So it's a minus d4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Did you want to? That's a standard, right? That's an action.
That is a full action.
Okay. Did you want to move in any way? To or from?
I want to make sure that Keck is between me and any of these people with sharp weapons.
Okay. You maneuver yourself so that you have an armored protector. Mark.
So I would like to bull rush Keck into the group of people since he's slower than me.
So I don't think that's a thing.
It's not, and I don't know how, I'm happy sacrificing my entire, action / move / whatever. Or I could standing drop kick him to whatever mechanic you want to use. I just want to move him forward so that he's between the people with the weapons and the normal people.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. What kind of an attack roll?
Oh, it's a melee
Strength?
attack. It's a melee
So
attack.
strength?
Yeah,
Strength.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Because you're trying to push him. That's strength.
Yeah, 100%. That's not going to be good. 16 with a -1.
Does that hit your AC?
My armor class is 16.
And you said
So that
16 with the -1? Or
no. It was 17 -1 for a total of 16.
16, so you hit. So go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. And an
Me?
yes, you. And an athletics check.
Does he have to resist it?
This isn't him resisting it. He didn't know it was happening.
True.
Okay, Dex is an 18. And what was the other?
That's good. Athletics. That was ensuring he didn't take damage.
14.
okay.
A 14? So don't make a habit of it because I'm not sure how we would end up doing this. But from behind, you get kind of shoved, and you're not sure who it was that pushed you forward, but you now find yourself in a unique placement of being surrounded on 3 sides by these by these attackers.
Awesome.
Their focus had been on the people around you, but as you have been pushed into the fray, all 3 turn towards you. And as they turn towards you, you can see that their eyes swirl with crimson, resembling bloody, unshed teardrops, like the ones in the picture. And
And
many
then you hear news say, "You got this, Keck."
yeah. Sadly, not all of them have pokey instruments. A lot of them are slashy instruments, but your AC is still really high, so. As you.
Oh, sorry. That's why I asked the question. I would have done whatever seemed to be most prevalent.
You asked if they were sharp.
Right.
Yeah. A knife is sharp, but that doesn't mean it's pointy sharp. I didn't know what you meant. I thought you meant because I said they were rusted implements.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they were like bludgeoning instead of.
My plan was before each attack from the person, I was going to roll this dice to determine if it was pointy or slashy.
Got it. Okay. Well, we'll go with what we said.
Yeah. After you're done pushing him, he arrives in the location. You hear almost like a screeching yell from one of the people that is running towards the fight, not away from it. You see most of the celebrants that have been hanging out here, enjoying the music, have been running away with good reason. This woman is not. She's running towards. She holds her ground, and while looking surprised, is trying to get your attention. All y'all who seem to be stepping up in defense of her people. Let's see, is there a description? She's a smaller woman. Riding that line between almost becoming an elder. And she shouts, "I know many of these people. Please don't kill them. We have to just stop them." And that is her initiative. It is now Crow.
Man, you had to do that before I took my turn.
I absolutely had to do that before you
I
took
was
your
super
turn.
excited.
That's the whole point.
Oh no. Okay.
But I wanted to eat them.
Yeah, just their eyes. All right. I guess I will do non-lethal damage. I guess the flat of the end of my glaive into the head of one of the people I'm next to.
Okay.
I shout, Keck, you can kill them. I have spared the dying.
Aww.
What did that do?
Okay.
It stabilizes them.
These dice are the worst. That was a 1 to hit.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
You swung with your mouth arms.
Yeah, I was so distracted and angry that I'm not supposed to kill them.
That tracks.
Okay. All right. Did you want to use your
Action surge.
action surge or your bonus action for like a punch that doesn't have any strength behind it?
Yeah, sure. I'll do a strengthless punch. So I can do that as a bonus action?
So anybody can do like an additional attack, right? But the thing that makes yours different than say Karuk's, because Karuk can punch like 9 times already or something, some craziness. The
Pretty
difference
ridiculous.
is when you do it, you don't add your dexterity modifier if it's a ranged attack or your strength modifier if it's a physical attack. You only get dice.
Okay.
And that's if you hit, and let's be honest, you're rolling.
Yeah.
So,
Let's try that again.
I've got a
I'll
question.
just do a standard punch.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so I have my regular attack, right? And then I have my martial arts that allows me to use another unarmed strike
Yes.
as a
Right.
bonus action.
Yes.
Correct.
So
It's
I don't
just
get
a
it.
singular bonus action, right? I can't then spend a key point to
So the
the
thing.
key replaces, right?
Yeah. So that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? You have one bonus action. So for you, you can either do that punch as your bonus
Mhm.
action, or you can spend a key point and do flurry of blows, which is multiple attacks with unarmed. The
Mhm.
kicker is, and I'm sorry, Crow. I know we're interrupting.
Oh no, no, it's okay.
But the kicker is, your flurry of blows can only be done if your action was an attack.
Sure.
Martial arts, if you did something else with your action, like used it for movement or opened the door, you would still use your bonus action to punch. Right?
Gotcha.
You couldn't do it for a flurry of blows. The whole point of flurry of blows is that you're continuing to headbutt or knee break or whatever. So yeah,
And I don't add anything to the hit. It's just the dice roll.
you add your proficiency bonus to the hit and your strength to the hit, but not to the damage.
Well, I rolled a 19 on this one.
So
to hit.
it's gonna hit, yeah. But
Yeah.
but in the future, you roll the dice as your proficiency bonus as your strength modifier, and that's because I don't think your fist is a finesse weapon. We can look
No.
into it. But yeah, so
It doesn't say it is in the notes for my unarmed strike.
So now roll your damage, but no extra bonuses.
and I
Just straight.
think
Right,
I
which
think
my
it
damage
makes-
is just 4
I think
as an unarmed attack. There's no rolling.
So
just
with
for
unarmed
bludgeoning.
attacks, the way it works is you roll because you're proficient with it. So you roll a d20 plus your normal proficiency stuff, right? And then the damage is equal to 1 plus your strength.
Oh, sweet, thank you.
Unless
Yeah, which
you
is
are
4.
a monk, in which case they have their damage die, and then there's the unarmed fighting style in fighters, where they roll dice. But other than that, it's
because
just 1 plus.
those dice increase over time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I figured you'd probably know this.
Well,
since
the
you're
fighting
playing-
style doesn't.
You're playing
The
pro.
fighting style is a flat. If you have something in one of your hands, you swing a d6. If your hands are empty, you swing a d8
That's the
plus the strength. Yeah. So an unarmed fighter at level 1 is swinging d8s
Jeez Louise.
plus strength.
Monks need to be like 8 or 9 before that
Monks
happens.
throw out a lot more attacks. They have key points, and then eventually monk attacks become magical.
That's true.
Right.
Ooh,
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's cool.
so you do 4 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. The glaive misses as he brings a scythe up and kind of blocks it. And how they're moving is strange. You're noticing as a fighter, it's not like they've been trained to swing these scythes at people, right? And so it's almost like their movements are awkward and strange. But he blocks the glaive attack and you punch him in the face.
With my baby hand.
With your baby hand. With my baby hand. Alright. That was Crow. Now it is them. So I'm gonna go with the 3 that are on you first, Crow.
Okay.
Oh, yikes. Are you kidding me?
All ones.
A 1 and 2 2s.
Yes.
They miss completely, and you deftly kind of sidestep and move these clumsy attacks as they're swinging down at you.
Are you sure you guys have all this dancing still?
That is what this is, just a big performance. 2 move to attack on the edges some of the celebrants that were there enjoying that. What the heck? I try to do challenges. I doubled the amount of NPCs thinking maybe I'll roll well. 2 more 2s. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You better do better or I'm going to melt you.
I don't even need to roll my Bane dice.
I will melt you.
Would you like me to do bardic inspiration on the bad guys?
No, thank you.
The 2 that are baned attack next, and one of them moves up to Sibo, and one moves up to Karuk.
Now, I know we're doing theater of the mind, but I'm just making sure that the one that moved up to Sibo didn't move past Keck.
No.
Okay.
He was on the outskirts because they were still attacking on the outskirts, so they're kind of moving through
No worries.
people. Yeah. This one is no one. Okay. So minus a D4 as if I'm how do you roll a -1, Daniel? Well, it's easy.
I'll give you pointers.
A 4 on you, Sibo. Does a 4 hit?
No, sir.
How about a -2? Does a -2 hit you, Karuk?
It is not.
Jeez Louise, that was another
Right.
1. Where are my better dice? Jeez
Don't
Louise.
switch. Don't switch
You had to
now.
use all the bad
Yeah,
luck.
no,
We're
it sounds like
committed.
those are the
We're
right
committed.
ones to use. I mean, you can't change midstream.
Okay, so that was all of the NPCs. That was awful. I'm gonna buy
They're just
loaded
dancing.
NPCs for the boss, or loaded dice for the boss. Sibo, you
Yes.
have one, you have one person standing over you with a what looks like a shovel, like a really kind of sharp shovel, but a shovel. He swung and missed you completely. It bit into the earth at your feet. It is your turn.
So I am going to produce a apple-sized orb from one of my pouches. And as a quick action, I am going to uncork it and remove some of the explosive powder.
Okay.
And am I adjacent to or sharing a square?
Adjacent to.
Adjacent to. Okay. So in that case, as I pour some of the explosive contents out, I'm going to cork it and prime it and throw it at their feet. And that is a flashbang. And because I remove some of the explosive powder, it only detonates in their square.
Okay. Okay.
So they are now blinded.
Is your saving throw?
Let's see.
Which,
I've got-
by the way, is awesome. Is that a thing? If you take a reaction or whatever to remove some of the powder?
So I will read for you out of the book because I have it right here. It says bombs, bomb. Priming bombs. Once per turn. Oh no, wait a minute. That's not what I want. I will get back to you on that. There is
Yeah, I think
there is
that's-
something for it.
That's just neat fluff. Even if it's not, that's just neat fluff.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Oh no, it did let me take that. Okay, yeah. So disorienting and distracting nearby foes, each large or smaller creature within 5 feet of you can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Oh, sweet. So, It's what is it currently? It can't take reactions.
Can't take reactions until its next turn.
And is it blinded?
Let me make sure. No, it does not. Oh, no, wait. As a bonus action, you can throw one of these explosives at your feet, disorienting and distracting nearby foes. Each large or smaller creature within 5 feet of you can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So that's what that is. That's an easy way to wow ninja poof and back.
Yeah, get out of jail free.
Yeah,
Yep.
so they don't attack you.
Let's see here. Anyway, I'll come back to that. Did that say that was a bonus action? It did. As a bonus action, you can throw one of these at your feet, disorienting, distracting. Each larger, smaller creature within 5 of you can't take reaction until the start of its next turn. Okay. So I will then pull up my character sheet and figure my stuff out here. Then I'm sure there will be rolls for this. I am going to take a second apple-sized device out, prime it. I want to shove it in one of their pouches and kick them.
Okay. What are you trying to do with kicking them? Move them back?
No, in fact, I don't want to do that. No, because I already used my quick action. Never mind. Basically, because I don't have the time to lighten the powder charge, it's going to explode in a 5-foot radius. And so I want to prime it, shove it in his pouch, and kick him backwards so that he blows up just by himself.
Is it a non-lethal blow up?
Yeah, so much for not killing him.
This is a 1d10 firebomb.
So yeah, it's very much killing them.
Keck is very excited.
Okay. All right.
Actually, let me rethink this. Maybe this is a bad idea.
I only say because she had asked you guys not to kill them, but also there are still other people like running out and running away.
Children.
Not children, but
I'm not gonna do a bomb. I'm gonna do an oil bomb.
okay. Light them on fire.
Not light them on fire. I was told I couldn't kill them, but I was not told that I couldn't threaten to kill them.
True. Okay, so you throw oil at their feet?
So it is an actual oil bomb. So I just have to throw it at them.
Okay.
So let's see. Attack bonus? Where the hell did it go? Help me out, guys.
Attack bonus?
Yeah.
It should be in your equipment. Or I'm sorry, right above your equipment in the middle section, underneath your hit points. You should have like the name of your thing and then an attack bonus.
Oh, god damn it. I didn't fill that in.
Are you using D&D Beyond or actually filling out a paper one?
What are your stats?
I'm using a paper one. My current stat for it'll probably be Dex, so that's a +3.
So it'd be +5 total.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
It's your proficiency plus that.
Got it. How about a 10?
A 10 does not hit. As your kind of grenade, and he's right up on you. So while you have kind of disoriented, like he's obviously disoriented.
He was adjacent to me, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was right next to you.
Can I just smash it into his chest instead of throwing it at him?
I mean, You can.
Because it's a ranged weapon, it'd be at disadvantage.
That is true. Yeah.
And even if we would still be taking the same roll, and your strength is less than your dex, so you'd still miss him.
God damn it.
However,
fine.
he can't take reactions, and you still have your movement. So would you like to back away?
Yeah, I'll take a
Yeah.
5-foot step backwards.
Okay. You can do more than a 5-foot step. You can move your speed.
How much distance do I have behind me? Aren't we still inside a structure?
So you're. I'm sorry. That's my bad. So this was an open area.
Okay, this is open here.
That had like a circle of stumps that people were sitting on, and a whole bunch of people just kind of sitting on the ground singing and playing instruments. And
Okay,
these people
I understand.
wandered in. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will back up fairly significantly, 15 feet maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that'll be my action.
Okay. Tyler.
How many guys are near me?
There is, like 1.5. The one that was just attacking Sibo is a little bit away, but you could easily move between. Like if you wanted to punch one, move and punch another one, that
Yeah.
one's pretty close.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll probably just do that.
Okay.
Non-lethal blows, hopefully.
Non-lethal blows.
Right
Where-
back.
Yeah. Run by punches. That is, let me see. +4. 17 to the first one.
Yeah, that hits.
Sweet. D4 +2. 4 damage on the first one.
Okay.
And then the second. On the next one.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
13 on the next one.
13 hits.
Hits. All right. 4 on that one as well.
Okay. And you end next to that second one, who has a sharpened shovel looking at you as if he is confused. And other than that, just slack face. Naomi. Prudence.
I run for cover.
Okay. You see that the majority of people are running back behind buildings. Many haven't stopped running. Are you looking for a building to dive in front of, or behind a stall?
Behind a stall.
Okay. Not a problem. Would you like to do anything, or are you pretty much just running for cover?
Running for cover.
Okay.
They seem to got you at this. You got it.
All right. Back to the top with Justin.
So, at this point, how many have not been interacted with? Like 2?
Okay, so there are 2 that look like Karuk is focusing between them to the left. Near the center, 3 are focused on Keck. And there are 2 off to the right that are just attacking civilians. They're a little bit further away, but they're the ones attacking civilians.
I'm going to try to target the closer one that hasn't been interacted that's attacking a civilian with a non-lethal range.
Okay.
The 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Damage 7.
Okay. You shoot at him to stop him from slicing down at a woman who fell to the ground, and you can see the quarrel bury itself deep in his leg, not in any vital areas, but just deep into his leg. And he doesn't cry out, he doesn't scream, he doesn't even seem to notice it. But his eyes, with that swirling red miasma, look up from the woman on the ground at you, and it seems like he's starting to change his momentum.
About how far would you say he is from
20 feet?
20? Okay. Could I, with my 2-weapon fighting, if I moved after my attack within melee range, could I melee as well with offhand? I'm going to go ahead and do that and just try to like run up and offhand attack to finish what it started.
Okay.
Short sword. Ooh, only 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Okay. Sick. Same thing, non-lethal. 5 damage.
As you strike him, kind of pommel against his head, he drops the weapon he's holding and collapses to the ground, just like as if his strings were cut. Drops to the ground. The other one that was kind of nearby is about 10 feet off to your right, but looks like he is now focused on you as well.
Okay.
Ovida.
So the one that just went down, take it you didn't hold back on that one, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna spare the dying it.
Oh, he cracked it in the skull.
Yeah, I did non-lethal for both. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
For sure. Then yeah, I'm just gonna hold off and see if anybody needs that kind of saving.
So you are holding your action to ensure that you can do that if it's needed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. New.
I'm going to kind of hold my action support kick.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah, that's it.
Check.
So the one that I hit for 4 is still up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to non-lethally try to slap the side of my glaive into his head with the intention of popping an eyeball out. But non-lethally, because people lose eyes.
Okay.
I swear. Okay, so that's a 5.
To be fair, I have almost every roll I've done today has been under
Oh wait,
4.
7. Sorry,
7 does not hit.
it's a 7. Okay.
I should have done one.
I'll try to punch him.
Okay.
That's a 6.
The 6 does not hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going really well, guys.
Mark, was there something you wanted to do to try to help him?
Yeah, the sad part is I can't now. I was determining whether to do reaction to something that happened to him or buff him, and I should have buffed him. I'll do it next round.
Okay. Is them. Karuk. The one that's near you is near you. The one that is not near you that you punch moves into distance with you.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Giving them each 5 attacks does nothing.
Jeez.
That's what I like to hear.
I am seriously waiting for them to actually succeed on an attack so I can do
No.
something.
Oh,
No, no,
so you
no.
did. I mean, to be fair, I
To be
showed
fair.
her the stats earlier, and they do about 23 points of damage per hit. So
Yeah.
now,
Remember when we were concerned that we didn't have a healer?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I still am.
I have healing
Check.
abilities.
The 3 that are near you.
I'm not making potions for any of you.
I might be able to make potions.
Okay. A 15 does not hit you.
No.
Okay. A 19 hits you.
Yes.
Okay. And he has a slashing weapon. So that, and then a 5 doesn't hit you.
And did I say slashing or did I say
you
You
piercing?
said piercing.
I'm so sorry. I was
That's all right.
thinking I meant slashing, but I said piercing. It's fine. It is what it is.
I
I'll heal you.
rolled randomly anyway, so if you had said slashing, it could have been piercing.
That's fine.
Jeez, finally. Oh my goodness, brain. As the scythe comes down, it catches you right in the carapace of your shoulder and does 8 points of damage.
Oh,
As it
jeez.
digs,
Okay.
as it bites, I rolled almost max damage. Bites deeply into your shoulder.
Can I do Silvery Barbs as a reaction then?
You sure can.
Okay. Then I cast Silvery Barbs on the attacker,
Nice.
Yeah,
which
it is
gives
nice.
him
Poor guy. The only guy that actually
that he
successfully
needs to
attacked.
re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll.
Come on, 2.
Somebody's sleeping on the couch. Me. I'm
It's
sleeping.
you. Yeah, you're sleeping on the couch.
17.
That still hits.
Okay.
Ah.
That was lucky.
Hold on, and you can then choose a different creature you can see within range. The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving roll within the next minute, which would be Keck.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. I need that real bad.
So you'll take 8 points of damage.
Yep, I did.
And that's them. And then the one that is off, I said was moving towards you, Silas. Oh, Mark, did you have something?
I do have a quick question.
Yep.
So if I, and I don't think we've ever thought about this or talked about this, if I throw him another one for slashing, can he have resistance of both at the same time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Unless your food says specifically.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
Then I don't see a reason for that it couldn't.
Okay.
Stack me up.
And then the one that moves to you, Silas. It has some kind of like rake, hoe combined tool.
Okay, yeah.
And I thought me describing it a little better would help, and it doesn't.
No, I can picture it perfectly.
It bounces off of your metal skin, I guess. And that's.
Did it leave a scratch?
No. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, that's it. Sibo, you are at range from them. They don't even seem to be noticing you. But now that you guys are kind of in the midst of it, you see that the older woman that was asking you guys not to do it, she's pulled a tent, one of the kind of coverings, canvas style covering tents from a shop over some of these attackers off to the right, to kind of Scooby-Doo them under a tent. And it is your turn, Sibo.
Does it look like she's actively helping them, or is she like?
No, she was asking you guys not to kill them, and it looks like she's trying to what's the word for that?
Subdue.
Subdue them. Yeah, she's trying to
Subdue them.
She pulled a stall's tent over on top of them so that they'd be covered up by fabric.
Oh, nice.
So Keck took a pretty bad injury, right?
Yeah. You actually, this is the first time you've ever seen what Thri-Kreen blood looks like, and you don't want to know what it looks like again. You guys are good with seeing it this time.
What does it look like?
It's like a slick greenish color that has globs in it. So it's not like
Like green
flowing.
tapioca?
Yeah, it's like green tapioca with different size pearls.
Awesome.
And it's leaking down your shoulder, and because of the way that your carapace is segmented, it's almost highlighting the lines of your carapace as it flows down your shoulder.
My rage awakens. Just kidding.
Sibo.
Does he have creatures next to him?
Okay.
3 of them.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull out another bomb.
Okay.
But this one in the little bits of glass that you can see kind of between the leather wrappings, it's actually almost like a sparkly bright red liquid. And I prime it and I throw it at Keck. Or excuse me, as a quick action, I remove some of the explosive charge, cork it, prime it, and throw it at Keck. And as it hits him and shatters, you see the liquid like flow up over his arm. And it is a painkiller bomb. And it grants each creature within its blast radius, which is only Keck's square, hit points equal to 1d8 plus half of my level.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Man, especially at a higher level.
And
Is that-
you deprimed it, meaning if you hadn't deprimed it and we had players next to each other, it would have healed multiple.
It would have healed all of them.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's cool.
So,
Oh, that's so OP at level 2.
awesome. So I healed 2 hit points.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Wait.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, nice.
It was the E for effort.
It all counts.
Yes.
It all
Now we
counts.
know it exists.
Okay. All right. Good on you. Are you good, Shank?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Tyler.
I'm just gonna punch the guy that's in front of me currently.
So right now you have 2 that are
Yes.
right next to you. Yeah, one's in front of you and one's like to your right.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and punch the one directly in front of me first.
Okay.
22 hit.
Yeah, by a little. Yeah.
Cool. 4 again.
Okay.
And then I'll try and punch that guy again. Actually,
The same guy.
same guy. Yeah.
Okay.
14 hit as well.
It does.
Cool. 5 damage.
And he drops.
All right, I'm gonna spend a key point to flurry of blows. Oh wait, no, I can't.
Can't. Yeah.
Cannot.
Because
You were.
used-
That's fine.
Yep.
One or the other.
Right. And then that's it. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, so that one drops, and you turn to the one to your right who has some kind of wicked-looking knife, maybe like a machete.
Okay.
It is Prudence.
So far, Keck's the only one that's taken damage, right?
Correct.
And he's sort of gotten dead.
No, he's still bleeding.
Okay,
the
then,
bleeding is slowing, but it's still pretty.
Gross.
Then I am going I need to double check on this, but I want to cast Healing Word.
Okay. Is that the one? One of them needs touch, and one of them is distance.
Yeah, and that's what I'm figuring out right now. Because can I use my Unseen Servant to do touch?
No.
If it is?
No.
Damn it.
You need a familiar.
Yep, I was going to say you need a familiar.
That's a 60-foot range.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a creature of your choice within range. Regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus my ability modifier.
Sweet.
So,
This is the first time our group has done actual battle, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Other than
That'd
the
be-
shrimps.
I mean, there was the shrimp, but
that'll
like
be 5.
as a unit.
Say
The
5.
shrimp count.
Yeah, 5 healed.
nice. Thank you.
Nice.
That's close. You're close to back to good, right?
Yeah.
That changes what I'll do.
I'm looking much better now. And I'm very excited to be fighting.
Apparently, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to add a lot more combats just to be a challenge.
Nope.
Now you know how I
It's just
felt
time to
last
go
game,
fancy
Dan.
dice shopping.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys this, and I wasn't going to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you this now because it will make a difference coming up. Journey through the Radiant Citadel. When I had read it originally, it looked like it had an adventure for a first level party that turns second level at the end of the module, and so on and so forth. Nope, it goes first level to second level, and then this one's supposed to be third level, but we have 8 players, so I was like, okay, well, it might be a little challenging, but you guys should handle it just fine. And then this happens.
Now you know how I feel
I'm just gonna
last
have
game.
all of my creatures are gonna attack with advantage. And,
Let's not.
and it'll
say we did.
still
That sounds terrible.
it'll still be awful. Oh, I shouldn't have wasted that 20.
To be fair, I can't hit either.
It is Naomi. Naomi did that. And so we'll start back off with Justin at the top of the round.
All right. Got one more still that's like squaring off
Wait.
with me. Right? Wait.
Is that right?
But you were readying your action to wait, right? Did you want to?
Yeah, can I?
He was ready. You were ready. Okay, so when you ready your action, you ready it with something specific in mind, and you were specifically going to.
Yeah, and I didn't do it, and everybody healed him before I did it. So, okay,
But I'll tell
so
you
I'll
what,
just wait
it
till
was-
next time.
It was technically you were technically going to be helping. You said you wanted to assist Keck.
Keck,
So
yeah.
we'll say at the end of the round, you can assist Keck with the. You wanted to do the slashing.
So actually, I was reading my rules. I'm going to load 2 different things into my ladle because I can now,
Oh.
and I'm going to throw 1 to Keck and 1 to Justin's character,
Silas. Okay.
Silas. Thank you. So you guys will have to use your. Well, the round's going to start again anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you'll have to use your reaction to catch and eat them.
Okay.
But Keck, you'll get the slashing protection or slashing resistance. And then Silas, when you eat yours, it's going to give you plus. Sorry, 1 second. I need to read it. Give me 1 second. It adds my wisdom modifier to your next attack roll,
Okay.
just for this round only. And it's it's actually a soup, so you're just gonna have to open your gob and catch it. But it gives you +5 to your next attack roll.
Can you do me a favor and tell me that again? You said this round only, or until his next
Sorry.
round?
Yeah, on his next attack roll before the end of his next turn.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
That makes a
So
big
it's for 1
difference.
round. Yeah, it's for 1 round only, not this round. but his next round. Yeah.
This is the third round we're entering.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so I got a extra bonus to hit, right?
Yes.
Correct. +5.
Sweet. So I will. What's the minimum range for my crossbow?
So if you are doing a ranged attack in melee, it's going to be at a disadvantage.
Got you. Okay. Since it's built into my arm, can I swap my crossbow to my other short sword and then hit with both short swords?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do that. First roll to hit with bonus. What was the plus for your wisdom?
5.
5. Ooh. That is.
And to clarify, because I don't remember your character sheet, but you have a
Yes.
wisdom score of 20?
I have a. I am lying. Sorry. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
+3. My fault.
Which is still
It's,
awesome.
it's because I keep adding proficiency when I attack with it, so that's why I was thinking +5.
And so
Sorry.
When you said +5, I thought that's what you were doing. But
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, sorry. +3.
you're good.
+3. +3.
26 to hit on the first one.
You didn't need my +3 anyways.
I think he missed. I don't think that's going to be enough, bro.
1d6 plus 3 for the first hit. That's 6 damage.
Yep.
And then the offhand, also adding bonus.
Sword slapping him.
Yep, is 20 to hit
Mm-hmm.
with another 6 damage.
Yeah, he
Non-lethal,
drops.
yeah.
He drops.
Clack, clack.
Yeah. You're taking care of these guys on the outside. Hey, Keck, are you watching?
I am.
Um,
a little pit.
Next time I'm going to push the robot. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna just orient myself and move to where I can just be within like a decent range, like 20 feet, 25 feet away from the ones around Keck.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Ovida.
All right, let's see.
So currently there is one with some kind of hoe rake weapon moving on Karuk. There are 3 around Keck.
Yeah,
And the older woman off to the side, it has a tent covering some moving lumps that she's hitting with some kind of large paddle.
I'm gonna shoot one of the ones near Keck with my blow dart gun.
Okay. There is one that looks like it's taken damage. Do you want to aim for that one? Okay.
That's a 20.
That hits.
So that's 3 plus 2d6 for my sneak attack.
Oh yeah. Sure enough.
They take 8 points of damage.
Yeah, he drops.
So that'll be non-lethal. So it's the darts cut like a light coating of just like knockout. And just put some.
He's asleep. He's asleep now. Okay. Keck, you, the one to your left, without doing anything to him, drops.
It was your rage.
You're not sure what happened. It might have been your rage.
Your rage
Alright.
killed him.
I'm gonna slap.
Did you want?
Go ahead.
Did you want to move, Randy? Okay. It's actually Mark next.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right. You have advantage on your next roll. So that's not going to help you. I'm going to hold. Yeah, I'm going to hold my action to support Keck if he gets hit.
Okay. If he gets hit.
If he gets damaged.
Okay.
Yeah. Not even if he gets hit, but if he actually takes damage.
Okay. And Crow. Cat.
All right. I will slap my glaive again into the head of the one that did not go down.
All right.
Because the one that went down was the one that already had taken damage, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll use the advantage from the silvery barbs.
Okay.
20 natural,
Hey.
which makes it
There
a
it is.
25.
Yeah. That. But I mean, it. Yeah. It
Yeah,
hits.
I-
crit anyway.
Missed.
And
This is when you accidentally kill him.
so with doubling it, it'd be 10.
Yeah, he drops. You give him a good solid crack across the dome, and his eyes shut for a second, and then he collapses to the ground.
Keck's walking
have-
around hitting people so hard my teeth are clicking.
You have one more to your right that's poised to bring like a machete blade down.
Okay. I don't know if we're gonna do anything else later, but I guess I'll use my
Action surge.
action surge to do another attack on him, which won't be at an advantage.
Okay.
Which is a 8.
8 does not hit.
That's what I thought.
That look on your face. So sad.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. It is them. I get one more chance to try and hit you guys. So the one going for Karuk
Mm-hmm.
does a... Where is your attack bonus? Does a 20 hit you?
Yes, it does.
For 2 points of damage.
I take 2 points of damage.
Rude.
And the one at Tech... Of course now they are. There's only 2 of them left. A 21.
That will hit.
For 8 points of damage.
And was that slashing or piercing?
Well, it doesn't matter because you're for both.
Right, so it's half of that.
So it's 8 damage, halved, so you'll take 4 damage.
Okay.
And Mark,
were
you
you
took
gonna
damage.
respond?
I take damage?
No, he took damage, and that was what you
Yeah,
said was the,
Right. So I'll go next for
Okay.
my turn, right?
And
Which thank you, because I know there's no actual holding of turns, but
yeah.
it's yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay. So then I will load 2 pieces of orange cake, and I will sling, and one will go to Keck, and one will go to Garuk.
Oh, sweet.
Thanks.
So you will get. You do have the bad. So I want to make. This is going to come up later, so I want to make sure that I talk about this. You guys are having to use your reaction to catch and eat these. So that means
Right.
that you would lose any opportunity attacks
Right.
in the round we're in currently.
And
That's fine.
it's not just that, but there's
Right.
also action economy is a thing, and
Yeah.
you guys are still low level, so there aren't a lot of things you can do with your reaction. But monks have something they can do with that. Some spells like Hellish Rebuke, I think, require a reaction in order to
Just
cast.
Yeah.
silvery barbs
Yeah.
was a reaction.
Oh.
Counter spells another one.
Yep. So there are some actions later on, especially that you will have to make sure that, oh, that's right, I ate that thing, so now I can't do the other thing.
So you
I
guys
use
roll one.
counterspell a ton as a sorcerer.
You guys will roll 1d6 and add 3, and that's how much you heal.
Cool. Back up to full.
That's actually a valid point.
Same.
Which
Does it say the person who eats it rolls?
It just says 1d6 plus chef's
So-
wisdom modifier.
So in
So
the
would you
past,
prefer to me to do it?
In the
Yeah.
past, the way I've done it in the past was, if it's something the person is doing, then the person is the one rolling the dice. So they're eating it with their reaction, so they're rolling dice. If you were casting a spell, then you'd be the one rolling. But I do the same thing if like let's say Sibo was drinking a potion, Sibo would roll the dice. If
Right.
New is feeding Sibo a potion because he's on the ground,
Right.
Mark would roll the dice
Got
because
it.
he's the one doing the action.
Makes sense to me. So I will roll when I force feed people. Got it.
Yes. I don't care if you have full health. You're gonna eat this cake and you're gonna like it.
That's right. I spent all night making it.
To be sure, as well, since like a lot of us are using both our hands for like an attack and an offhand attack, if Mark throws food at us and we have to react to eat it, do we
So-
have to catch it in our mouths?
So it's all fluff, right? All of it's fluff. And the chef class is a homebrew class. I don't think at any point it was meant to frustrate people. So the way I picture it in my head is, especially you with your robot mouth, is that you kind of just turn your face and the food smashes into your face, and you get the
You get the effect.
you get the
Perfect.
And that's the only way.
It's just
You get
literally
an
like clanging
artificial
cake.
dopamine
Yeah.
released from feeling
right.
cake frosting on your face.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Perfect. Okay. My hands are busy. Corks too, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
birthday to me.
Level up.
Rub it into
Going back
your
to-
metallic
Yeah,
outer like a
rub-
moisturizer.
Going back to Dan's comment about you're going to eat this and you're going to like it. Do you not
Yes.
know that there are goblins in clans that are starving?
My face
Spe-
is nice and shiny and polished with icing.
Nice. Speaking of goblins and clans that are starving, Sibo, it's you.
I'm not starving, sir. I eat bombs for breakfast.
And he drops bombs for lunch.
Is there anybody still like? You did say it was my turn.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anybody that is actively still up and fighting, or has everybody
Yes.
been largely subdued?
One is facing off against Keck. It looks like the two others. There's been a quick reversal this last round. Keck is no longer surrounded. One is facing off against him, and then Karuk across the circle that you guys are kind of fighting in is fighting another one. The rest have all been dropped.
All right. And we determined that Keck is almost back to full.
Am I allowed to say that?
How do you look?
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And you fire with disadvantage if you fire into combat, correct? Like if I pull out my crossbow and fire,
No,
not the one fighting Keck.
I know
as
that.
long as you're farther away, you're fine.
I know that used to be a thing. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
It's not.
Yeah. It's only if you are in melee trying to fire a range thing.
Or ranged firing at something that's prone.
Right.
I am.
Awesome. Thoughtful.
I mean, I appreciate that, sir.
Debonair.
I'm going to undercharge a flashbang and throw it at the one next to Keck.
Okay. So he will not have reactions until the end of his turn. Until after his turn.
Until his next turn.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I will move. Somebody refresh my memory. 5e, does it allow attack with advantage for flanking?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
What? It doesn't?
It was a house rule.
It's
we made
house
up.
rule. Yeah, in our last.
Oh, weird. Everyone I played
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
been that.
The
It's a
reason-
house rule, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the
determined.
reason every game you've played has had it is because a lot of people got used to flanking
Yeah.
being a thing.
Right.
I see.
Okay. hmm.
And so the way that we had played it before, and the way that which probably a good conversation to have at this point, the way we did it before was, I believe, if you want to flank and give someone the advantage, you have to be attached to the same enemy, right? You have to be within 5 foot of the same enemy, and you have to spend your bonus action distracting that enemy or getting them riled
Yeah,
up.
using
I see.
some power that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that grants the advantage to the other person attacking that person.
Right. So you're sacrificing your bonus action.
Right.
Pocket sand.
Exactly. That is
know what?
exactly correct. Pocket sand.
You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna take out one of the. I'm gonna take out a shell or a bomb
Mhm.
and prime it like I'm going to explode with it,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna run up to the other side or to create flanking with Keck,
Okay.
cackling like a maniac.
All right.
And I'm just gonna stand there with the primed fuse burning, like I'm just gonna let it blow up in my hand right next to him to basically try to distract him from Keck.
Okay.
So would you want to use perception? Performance or sleight of hand, or what skill do you want to tie to that roll to see if you successfully distract him?
Sleight of hand.
Does that make sense? How that works? If you're gonna,
Yes.
if we're gonna,
So you're
do that?
rolling to distract.
You're
Well,
rolling
yes.
to make sure that you're competent in the distraction.
Yeah, you're
whatever.
using something in conjunction with your bonus action to create an advantage for someone else.
A 21.
Yeah, by a little bit. Yep.
Come on, you little bastard!
The face doesn't change. It's still very deadpan, but it looks back at you like you're definitely seen as a threat that must be stopped. Definitely distracting them for someone that can't really be distracted. Karuk.
I will resume punching.
Okay. that was how my monk last game. It was very much that. I'm gonna punch, and I'm gonna punch, and then I'm gonna headbutt this guy, and then I'm gonna punch.
Absolutely. So 14, 15, 16, 18.
18 hits.
Cool. That'll be 3 damage.
Okay.
And then I will try and punch him again.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
And I'm not suggesting that you spend your key points because they are a valuable resource.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did your flurry of blows, now that you've done your first attack, you have 2 more attacks with flurry of blows, right?
Right.
You could do flurry of blows to attack him
Mm-hmm.
because you know that you've done enough damage at this point that he's pretty close. And then you could use your movement to move to the last guy and do your last punch at the last guy, which would also mean that you're also next to the last guy in that same area. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay. I mean, yeah. That sounds good.
These are things that I learned after playing a monk for
Right.
3 years, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's
Then,
a lot
yeah.
of little things. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I do that then?
Yeah.
Spend a key point.
So you spend a key point, and then
Cool.
you'll roll to attack the guy that's next to you.
Yes.
Just don't.
17 on that one.
Yeah, and that definitely hits. Yeah.
Cool. And then 4 damage on him.
Yeah, he drops. Yep.
All right, and then I can move and go key punch
So-
the other guy, right?
Yep. Well, and flurry of blows the other guy. Yeah. For your last
Yeah.
flurry of blows. Yeah. So you move with a swiftness across the empty space
Uh-huh.
to engage this last attacker.
Yeah, that'll be 20 to hit.
Yeah.
And then 6 damage.
Rocket right
The-
into his face.
The only, out of nowhere, Keck, you see the guy who's lifting up his weapon to bring it down at you, his head spins sideways from getting punched before slowly righting himself up. He's now surrounded on 3 sides by you and your compatriots. Yeah. Yep.
He is still up though.
He is still up. Yeah. He's shaking it off, but he's still up. And Prudence.
Dude, seriously, I'm holding on to whatever few spells I have left to make sure that I can heal anyone that really needs it.
Okay.
You got your cantrips though. Like you could do vicious mockery all day if you wanted to do that.
It's true.
True. But I'm good for now.
Justin.
All right. So, if there's just that one left that Karuk hit, I'll try to finish up and hit him.
Okay.
This guy's being gang.
Annihilated.
Right. So that's Frostquo.
He came after us first.
Oh, I mean, not so hot. I rolled a 1 on the dice, so that's 6 to hit.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Nope. And you're fighting
But-
melee, so you hit your friend. No, I'm just kidding.
I am like 20 feet away though from that one, so I'm gonna move up and offhand attack with my sword,
Okay.
which
Surrounded,
is 18 to hit
surrounded on 4 sides. That hits.
and 4 damage.
And he too drops as you crack him again with the pommel of your short sword. As kind of time speeds up and resumes, you hear the old woman off to the side. She is shouting out orders, and she's saying, "You grab something, tie him up, and tie him up." And she's coming over to you guys, and she's kind of given the same orders to some of the people who have slowly returned to tie up these familiar faces. Some of them are bleeding, and those wounds are kind of taped up. One of them has a crossbow bolt through his leg. Stuff like that. They're going to be cleaning up and taking care of. And as things start to slow down, she thanks you, and introduces herself as Aunt Dellie. Dellie. Delta Echo, Lima Lima, Igloo Echo.
Keck is going to think speak to Sibo.
That was awesome. Let's do it again. Patience, cockroach. There will be time.
And she is, as she is pulling people together, she's kind of taking charge of the situation. And you can see that the way that all the others are reacting, she's somebody of some influence here. And almost, it's strange because things got really, really quiet. This is the first time you've heard quiet since arriving here in God's Breath. And slowly, very slowly, like a mouse sticking its nose and whiskers out of a hole in a wall, you start to hear the lyrics, the lyrical nature of the awakening song begin again, very quietly, almost hushed. And it's different before it was very vibrant. Before it was very almost adventurous in its nature. It's starting off here almost sorrowful, but
More
it's
melancholy.
more melancholy. But there's still stories being called out, and this time the stories have shifted as well to match that tone. Yes, Tyler.
I was gonna ask if it started from the beginning again or not.
It did not. That's a
Okay.
good question. Very good question. I should also state, especially well for you, Karuk, you're going to have advantage on intelligence history checks related to this song for the rest of the adventure because you sat
Hold
here
on.
and just listened to this song.
I get advantage on.
What was that?
What was it? History?
Intelligence history for things around this song because you were listening to different people singing different parts of the song in this area while other people were like talking to people and chatting. I'd say probably Silas was 2 because you were specifically listening.
Yeah, just listening and watching.
Yeah.
Are all the attackers bundled up, like tied up in the same area right now?
Yes.
And their eyes are weird, right?
They are. Yes.
So I
Do you
am
wanna? Yeah.
cast detect magic.
Oh,
As
can
you
I check them out medically? Like I have medicine. I want to see if this might be a poison or something too.
I need to hold on 1 second.
You can do the medical check first if you want to.
He is going to do the medical check first. I'm looking for. There's a specific thing in here that says if they cast detect magic. I'm trying to find that line because I didn't honestly anticipate you guys actually having that spell.
It's the one I took for 2nd level.
Okay,
Oh,
go
when this,
ahead
like,
and roll me a medicine check.
It's a 15.
As you're kind of taking vitals and looking at it, you can see that it doesn't have any of the visible signs of a poison. They seem, other than being wounded now, they seem fairly healthy. They don't have any indications that would normally tie you to thinking it was any of the poisons that you know.
Got it.
Naomi, as you sit and
I
actually
pull out
anyone who
crystals
wants to
and
make
sage.
anyone who wants to make an Arcana or Religion check can do so.
What do you pull out, Naomi?
Oh, I get the sage and some crystals. I'm gonna check their auras.
You said arcane or what?
Or Religion.
Okay.
And just tell me if you get one or the other, not both. And just tell me if you get above a 13.
Do I'm doing that too?
You don't need to do that.
I got a 15 on the die, so 18.
Okay.
I got a 19 on a religion.
Okay.
I went for Arcana and got a 1.
Okay. You're doing good. Yeah. It's not poison. Pretty sure.
Not poison. I'm pretty sure this isn't poison.
Okay, so for the two of you, you can tell that these farmers are being magically controlled. Something is tying them back. You've seen magic that does this kind of thing. Nothing that binds them like this so strongly. You haven't seen that? But, yeah. So, Naomi, describe to me what your detect magic looks like.
So I have like some shitty piece of quartz, but I really believe in this. and some sage, and I light it, and I start to kind of waft the sage around them, and it starts to turn into, if it's magic, because I charged the sage with my crystals. They'll start to have kind of the smoke around them will glow into different colors, and it'll create kind of an aura of magic
All right.
wherever it is.
So you all see Naomi doing that as she's standing there, and then her eyes cloud over with white. And it's almost like a white mist on the eyeball and clouds over her vision.
There's a surprised look on her face. This has not worked yet before.
And she is staring. She is staring at the group that are tied up at your guys' feet, because I'm assuming you're also there making sure nothing bad happens, right? They're tied up, but you're also there to put the beat down if something happens. Naomi, as you are focusing intently on them, you start to hear arcane whisperings in the air, as if it's being flowing across the air. You can't really understand what it's saying, and that's not really the point. And you know that it's not really the point. But these words, these commands, are floating down across the people at your feet, and you can see it's almost clamping them down with a command they have to follow, a geese, if you will. And it's something that they are stuck on until it completes. You see in this shadowy realm, like misty, shadowy realm that you're looking at, you see hands, disembodied hands floating above with strings that are tied to the people laying on the ground in front of you. And this is all happening for you. It feels like time is stretching out. And then all of a sudden, everything pulls back in a rush, and like a loud clap, like a thunderclap. And your eyes clear, and you're staring at the group around you. And only like 1 or 2 seconds have actually passed. Did you have a question, Kirk?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Thought about it for a second. We're good.
Okay.
So I kind of was like still very confused, and I was like, it's a geese. There's puppets in someone's controlling. That's magic. I mean geese, like not geese. Is there any way that I could see the direction, maybe, or was it just there's
It
magic
was
around
just
them?
laid on them. Yeah.
Yeah, this
You
is
could tell.
definitely
You
some
could tell
magic. I don't
it's
know how to undo it, but it's magic.
enchantment magic.
Okay. There is some enchantment magic controlling these people. They have no control of what they're doing. I'm glad we didn't kill them.
Like how many geese?
Is it a whole flock?
Geese. Yes. Geese. They're being controlled. Compelled.
Compelled.
Has this happened to your people before? I ask, and
I'm not even sure what that is. You're saying they're being compelled. Some
Like,
kind of
weird.
magic.
Definitely magic.
And as she's walking over, you can see that the others that were under the tent that she was hitting with a paddle, they've been brought over and tied up as well. So there's about 13 altogether that have been now tied up. And as you guys are walking over, she reaches over, and in one of the closed claw-like tight hands of one of these farmers, she pries open their hand, and you can see a crumpled up piece of paper. And she breathes, like she almost sobs as she's flattening the paper, and she goes to one of the stumps and drags it back and forth to flatten it out, and she says, "No." And she lets out a curse word that normally in that language you wouldn't be able to understand, but you do understand it, and it's a very bad curse word. And you can tell that she is in concerned shock. Aunt Dill hands the has the piece of paper in her hand, and she's just kind of staring at it.
I apologize. I missed something, I think.
Okay.
What was on the piece of paper that she...
You haven't seen it yet.
Okay, we haven't
She was
seen
trying
it.
to flatten it and unroll it. Karuk.
I did the religion check. Are we past that at this point?
Yeah, so the Arcana religion check was so that you would be able to see if they were being magically compelled.
So was I able to see those red strings?
So you were not. You were going back through the things that you have heard of with your knowledge of religion to see if you would recognize how they're acting or how any or like the eyes being red or any of that stuff, if that would tie to anything that you may have heard about. And so
Okay.
when you have like knowledge checks like Arcana or religion or nature, it's you comparing the two things together, right? And
Gotcha.
so sometimes it might glean you additional information, but the spell Naomi casts is a higher level spell, and that's what she saw when casting that spell,
Gotcha.
the detect magic.
What does it say?
She will slowly, kind of in that shocked state, walk over to you holding the sheet as she's kind of staring off in the distance. And as you take it from her, you see that it is a charcoal sketch of a child struggling to swim in dark water while being grasped at by hands beneath the surface.
And what does this mean to you?
She says, Kiana. Gods know Kiana. And that's where we're going to stop it for tonight. Kianna.
Thank you.
That freaking thing. Thank you guys very much for playing. And
Thank you.
this is another unique kind of module that plays really interestingly. I think that combat would have been very different if any of us were rolling better. The only person who seems to be rolling okay is Tyler. Well, actually, Tyler and Justin. It's that house. It's you guys' house.
Yeah.
We got the good juju.
But yeah, awesome. Hang out after, because I have some logistics stuff after we close it down. But yeah, thank you guys very much. I'm about to close down, Mark. If you want to.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going to raid out to Harmfree, who is a good friend of the channel. I'll get that. Oh, wait, are you doing... Can we not do the song?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, the reason is because it keeps getting me copyright struck, so I gotta...
Really?
Yeah, even though I have the license for it, it's a big hassle.
Oh,
so I gotta look. I know why, and I think we might replace that song.
Cool.
Which we'll see. But yes, we're gonna raid out. The message will be here momentarily, and then we'll head over that direction. We'll be back tomorrow with Once Human. The new season has dropped, so we're gonna migrate over there. So join us for that. 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Thank you, everybody, for playing. Thank you, Dan, for running. And until next time, as always, be excellent to each other. Of course, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Ooh.